Hello and welcome to From the Gamers episode 8. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, also known as Corey, alongside Crash. How are you? I wasn't even going to try and come up with something. I wasn't even going to try this week. It's been one of them weeks already and it's only Tuesday. Just been one of those weeks. What's popping, Crash? What have you been up to this week?
Anthem.
Anthem
is out.
Yeah, dude. We're going to talk about Anthem. We're going to talk about Anthem in just a minute. Remember, this is our weekly podcast where we talk about everything. Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, if something comes out that we actually care about. Remember, if you want to be on the show, you can. Just email in at fromthegamers@gmail.com. It's a community-based podcast for you guys, by you guys. This is for people to get experience. If you wanted to be on a podcast before and you've never done it before, all you need is a microphone and a webcam and we can get you on. Not a problem. No one could do it this week, so it's me and Crash. I didn't have to kidnap Crash. I didn't have to steal him. He didn't sneak on. He was meant to be on this week.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it has to happen every once in a while.
I mean, you know, you were just the scheduled guest this week, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. No third person this week.
You're too special. That was where it was. You were the guest I booked, and because you were so special, I thought, well, we don't need somebody else this week.
Exactly.
Remember, if you want to get the show early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. You can get the video early, you can get the audio early, you can get it all early over there. Remember, go subscribe to the YouTube channels, youtube.com/mcfixer, and then twitch.tv/crashnick. Find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify, and the show goes live every Wednesday. We usually kick off the show with fan emails, but we haven't got any this week, so we will start with what we've been playing. Where do you want to start? Should we start at the bottom and work our way up, or do you want to start at the top and work our way down?
I think we'll leave Anthem for last.
Okay.
It's probably the one we have the most to talk about.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, let's start with Tetris 99 then. Have you had a chance to play it?
No, I don't even have it installed right now.
Interesting. So I installed it yesterday. I was waiting for Rabbit Hole Media came to shoot a documentary. They're shooting a documentary and I'm being a part of it. So they were here yesterday and they were running late. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, what should we? I said to Haley, what should we do? She's like, oh, why don't you show me that Tetris game you was talking about? And I was like, all right, cool. Why not? So I showed it to her and she was just sat there for a good half an hour. We're playing, just passing the controller back and forth. The highest I've got was 44th, which for me, I actually didn't think that was that bad. Like, I'm not like a Tetris master by any stretch of the imagination, but it's really fun, dude. Like, it's way more fun than I was expecting, considering it's Tetris.
Is it because it's all Tetris in a competitive sense, or?
I mean, I know everyone keeps calling it, but it's Tetris Battle Royale. Really, it really is. Like you can. There's like, so it's Tetris. Tetris is Tetris. Cool, You know what you're doing. But then like you can target different people, and you can target separate people on their own, which is like the other 98 players that are to your left and the right of you. Or you can set your attack so to people to KO or to get like badges and some other bits. I still don't understand the full spectrum of the game. I am literally just playing it like Tetris, which is get the lines and hopefully that I win at the end. But there's a little bit more strategy to it, which is really interesting. Like you don't want to start off too fast because otherwise people are then going to attack you straight away. But you don't want to go too slow because otherwise you get bombarded with other blocks. It's just really fun. And
so it's like a mind game on top of regular Tetris.
Yeah, it feels like it to me. That's how I was playing it anyway. Like I actually felt like I needed a strategy while playing. Like at first I was just like lines, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm going to build up my side. And then hopefully I'll get the right pieces. Obviously it shows what pieces are coming next. You sort of just work your way through it, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's perfect for the Switch. It's like I can totally see myself pulling this out like in a coffee shop. Well, I don't go to coffee shops, but if I did, in a coffee shop and be like, oh yeah, I want to drink a cup of coffee and play a game of Tetris and I can play against 99 other people as well. It's part of the Switch Online stuff. It's not in the actual like retro store part, the Nintendo Online part. It's just you download it from the store and you get it for free if you pay for. So it's not technically free. you get it with your online, the Nintendo Online system, which is kind of cool.
So if you don't have Nintendo Online, can you get it by
I
paying for it, or
don't
it's not
believe
available?
so. I don't think it's
Okay,
available
so it's
at
only
all.
you need the online.
I
Got it.
believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll be honest with you, it's kind of the killer app for it. Like I would have
Yeah.
bought. I mean, I think it's. I don't know. I agree. He has money for mine, so I've got to figure out how much I owe him. But whatever it costs for Nintendo Online,
Which isn't a lot.
it's not expensive. I think I probably would have bought it just for this.
Just
so,
for this, okay.
Yeah.
So you see yourself playing this again in the future?
I mean, strictly for Haley alone, which for those who don't know, Haley's my fiancée. She is a huge Tetris fan, but she's been playing the same version of Tetris, which since I've known her 8 years ago, which is like TetrisOnline.com, I think it is, and literally it's just like the most basic version. And I said to her, like, while we was playing, I was like, oh, do you think you'll play this? She was like, yeah, I'll definitely play this more. Like, I was like, oh, perfect. She's like, it's nice because for her, we bought the Switch together, but for her, it's finally a game that she actually wants to play on the Switch.
Right.
Which is it's weird that Tetris is the thing. I mean, I remember when I first got Tetris on my Game Boy, or my mum had Tetris on her Game Boy, or my dad's, and I played it, obviously. It's weird that it's sort of come full circle. Like, from a child, I was playing Tetris, to now the Switch is out, and the game I want to play, I don't want to play Zelda, I don't want to play Smash, I don't want to play Mario Aces, I don't want to play Mario Party, I want to play Tetris.
Play Tetris.
Strange.
Yeah. My dad used to be crazy about Tetris. We had a Tetris game on the Game Boy Color. My dad used to love playing. Only game he'd play on the Game Boy Color. He wouldn't like mess with video games other than that. But Tetris, like, he made an exception.
It's one, Joe. I always feel like Tetris is one of those games that, like, you show it to someone who's not a gamer and they have fun with it, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gaming." Like, no, I'm playing Tetris. I'm like, no, you're playing a game. Like, no, I'm playing Tetris. I'm like, okay, whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy.
It's kind of the same thing with like Candy Crush.
Candy Crush and all those
people
match
who
three
are
games.
Gamers are like, they play those and they're like, no, I'm just playing Candy Crush. I'm not a gamer. I'm not playing games.
Yeah, I explained that to Haley's dad actually, because he actually pays for Haley's dad and Haley's aunt. They both pay money into Candy Crush. I don't know if they still do, but when I was talking to them, they were. And I was like, "Oh, you guys are WoWs," and they was like, "What?" And I was like, "You're WoWs," and I was like, "I don't know what that means, Corey. Like, break it down." Like, and I was like, "You pay for the game, which means other people like myself, if I was to play it, I don't pay for it because I just sort of dip in and that. But you guys are actually in it and putting money into it."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, so you're what we consider a WoW in the industry, someone who pays like a lot of money into a game that's free to play." And he's like, "Yeah, I wish I could just buy it one off, but I can't." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how they get you. That's how they get you." Yeah. But yeah, having a lot of fun with it. I definitely would say to download it. It's a weird one because it just works. You jump in, you play Tetris, you lose, you jump back in, you play Tetris, you lose. Like, there's nothing more to it. It's not invite your friends so we can battle against each other, and there is none of that. Like, from what I've experienced anyway, which was literally log on, play, boom. So
yeah, okay,
yeah. And what have you played then?
Darksiders 3. I've been playing that. I got Premiere on the PC to play Anthem on the PC.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But I've been enjoying it. I was kind of tempted to get Metro because that just came out, but I was like, I'd rather finish this off before the Premiere runs out in case I don't want to renew it.
Which, by the sounds of things, we're probably not going to.
Yeah. At least not right away, maybe.
Yeah, not straight away, exactly. Yeah, I didn't even realize it was on there. I think it was Yami that said to you in chat, right, that it was on there.
Yeah, I was completely out of the blue. I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanted to play this game. And I heard not great things about it. So I was like, I'll probably just wait off on it for right now. But I'm enjoying it. Gameplay is more Darksiders. It added a bit of Dark Souls elements.
Okay.
When you die, you lose all your souls and you have to go pick them up.
Great.
I don't think it meshes well together super good, but I'm only like 4 or 5 hours in right now, so I'm not super deep into it.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it enough to probably finish it.
I mean, that's the main thing, right? I mean, that's the only good thing about these services. It's like games like Darksiders that you wanted, but you probably wouldn't have bought full price. But if you bought it secondhand, then you wasn't supporting developers anyway. And then now it's sort of the best of both worlds. You're not paying full price for it, but you're paying, and hopefully they're going to see some sort of money back, or they've been paid out already to have it in the service. So. Yeah, what's the voice acting like? Because I knew that was like a big part of it when the game dropped. It had some decent voice actors in it. Is it any good?
From what so far, it's okay. I don't think it's anything like spectacular. I don't think it's anything like extraordinary, but it's definitely not bad.
Fair enough.
It's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like that's pretty much what that game is. Good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, exactly.
Bit of a shame, but that's how it is, I guess. What else? Anything else you've been playing?
Apex Legends. That's about it. That and Apex Legends.
Hey, dude, like we was just said before the show, I'm done with Apex. I really think I am. Where it's not that, again, I was trying to explain this on stream, but I was a little bit amped up. I'm not good at Apex, and for me, for that game to have longevity with me, it needs duos and it needs solos. For me to actually be able to get good at the game. If you don't have a squad of 3, as we learned yesterday, you just get dicked over because your teammates play so passively, and so if we're playing aggressive, if 2 of us play aggressive and we come up against a team of 3 that are playing aggressive, we're going to lose that battle, no matter how good we are.
Yeah, because there's always the third guy shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, the bigger Apex gets, the more players it has, the worse the player pool is in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the worse your randoms will be.
Yeah.
Because I played yesterday, me and you won a 2v2, and then I played a few games afterwards with Dan, and again, what was happening is we were winning 2v2s, and then the third person would roll up, and we'd both be weak, we'd lose.
Yeah.
So,
it's just frustrating. And again, it doesn't take away from the quality of the game either. That's the annoying part. Like, I kind of wish the game was trash, because then I'd be like, oh, this game's trash, I don't even need to play it. But the game's really good, but I just can't get on with it because I'm not good at it. And I think that's the problem with battle royales in general. If you're not good at something, it takes a very long time to get good. And when you've got your chat on you, like, oh, you're shit. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I agree completely. That game needs duos and solos. Like, yeah, I didn't play much yesterday. I played with you, and then I played like an hour-ish afterwards, an hour or 2. And if that had solos or duos and I was able to get one other person, I would have played longer. Yeah. It was just frustrating because every match, it was just the random that just was like, what am I going to do about this?
I wouldn't mind we won yesterday as well. It's not like we didn't win. First game, jumped on, won a game. It was like, okay, cool. And then after that, it was just getting stomped on, which is it's just so annoying. So annoying. I got to play the Resident Evil DLC that dropped on the 15th. I didn't get to play it until the weekend, which is the Ghost Survivors, which is all the characters that died in the game's lore, or in the game's story, I should say. But it's the what-if scenarios. Unfortunately, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was really expecting a whole story of it. It's like I played the Kendo one, which is obviously Robert Kendo is the man that owns the gun shop, that his daughter's bit by a zombie. Or it gives you a sort of a title sequence of what happens in his story, in his what if scenario, and then you go from there, and you sort of do your time trials like you would if you was playing the Hunk mission, or something like that. But that's it. It's literally just run through, play. There's not a story there. It's not nothing else than that. It's, you can unlock like heads, like different heads to put on different masks and stuff like that. It's a cool way if you want to keep playing Resident Evil and you want to keep enjoying the time trial stuff, but that wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like a whole what if scenario, like Robert Kendo, and here's what happens, his daughter dies, and this is what happens. It's literally the same usable areas they've used, in different ways, and a lot more zombies, and like you run through, there's no item box or anything like that, so you got your time. So
it's like the Reaper or whatever his name was. Soldier one.
Yeah, exactly. That Hunk, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly that, but with 3 different characters, with different levels of difficulty. It's cool, it's fun, it just isn't what I was expecting, which again, I think is my own fault. I thought Resident Evil bringing out extra DLC, and they're doing these what-if scenarios, so you're going to get to hear Robert Kendo's story of what happened if he didn't die, and etc, and that's not what this is. It's literally, it is that, but just with no cutscenes and no voice acting, and there's no nothing. It's literally just the player character model, you get to run through and play as him. No unique weapons, no nothing else other than that. You run through, and you come up against vending machines. So when you get to each part, there's like a vending machine that you get to pick like one item from. So it might be a piece of health. It might be Magnum ammos. They did add different enemy types sort of thing. Like they added zombies that now have purple mist in their eyes and in their face, and when you kill them, they blow up. But if you're close enough to them, then you get poisoned, that was kind of cool. But again, it doesn't add anything. And then there's like this other character model, enemy model they added, which was sort of like it looked like a sort of midway through mutation of like a monster. It started getting silly again. It's what it sort of come across. I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Like, you don't need to do this. This game is near on perfect, in my opinion, of what we expected. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. I get this is just an additional piece of content, but just don't ruin it. You don't need to do this. But yeah, I don't think you really need to go back and play it, if I'm honest with you.
That's a little disappointing, because I was actually excited for the one with the guy with his daughter, because I think that was one of probably the highlights of the game for me. Was that part. That was like a really intense and suspenseful part, and it was like, oh man, I wonder what happens when they go behind that door.
Yeah, and you don't find that. It's literally that it's a title, a loading screen, and a piece of text, and that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of a letdown, sadly.
Yeah, but again, what do you expect for a free piece of DLC? 100%. It's kind of like, I feel like I built it up too much in my own head, where they didn't come out and say, yeah, you're getting this all new story and this, that, and that. It's like, no, they didn't say that. They just said, these are the what if scenarios. Here you go. We got them. And
to be fair, I didn't even see them advertising it. I just heard about it from you and Stu and people like that. I think it was Moody actually that I heard about it from.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm on like the Resident Evil subreddit like every day and stuff like that, so I was never gonna bloody miss it. But yeah, it's a shame. Right. It's not bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's bad, because it's not. It just wasn't what I wanted. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Last but not least, we have been playing Anthem. So, for those who don't know, you can play Anthem in a couple of different ways. On Xbox, you've got your EA access. If you pay for that, you can play Anthem for 10 hours. You get 10-hour trial. And on PC, you have Anthem, and if you pay for EA Premium, you can play the whole entirety of Anthem. Me and Crash have played 10 hours on Xbox, and we both played it separately in a couple of parts, but probably about 10 hours again on PC as well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love the gameplay. Let's start off with a really positive note.
Yeah.
I love the moment-to-moment gameplay. The combat in that game is ridiculously fun. The combo system, the flying, the different javelins. I played two, really. I played the Inceptor and the Ranger, and they still super unique, which I think I've already talked about from the
beta
demo.
Oh, yeah. the demo. Sorry, you're right. The VIP demo,
not a beta.
Yeah, not a beta. You're right.
Really a beta, but it's a demo. Yeah, I love the gameplay of it.
It does have problems.
Yeah, a lot more on PC than Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, let's start off with gameplay. Like the moment-to-moment gameplay in Anthem is a ton of fun. It's probably, of the three that it gets compared to, which I think is totally unfair to compare the three of them, being Destiny, Division, and this, I think its moment-to-moment gameplay is the funnest of the three, in my opinion. I like the way you traverse around the world. I like the way it feels. I like having my unique abilities, and I'm playing the Storm at the moment. So I just enjoy that. I enjoy my ult. I enjoy all of that aspect of the game. So when I'm going through playing the game, I am having a ton of fun. It's, of the three, like I say, is the most fun I've had with a, what are we calling these games now? World shooters, or whatever it is we're calling them. Yeah. MMO-esque, but not really.
MMO light.
Yeah,
MMO light.
Super light, because it's just strange. I enjoy what I've played so far of the story. I think it's enjoyable enough. I think it's probably the best way you can tell from what I've played so far. Again, 10 hours. So let me preference that before people want to come at me on Twitter. The way they tell the story is the best way a game of this MMO light type game has told the story, in my opinion. It actually tells a story that I actually care about. It actually world builds really well. It character builds really well, which is what I've heard BioWare games do anyway. Like I was expecting, I wasn't expecting anything, but I was expecting this if I was expecting something. There are likable characters that I want to know what happens to. There are characters I also don't care about, which is fine. Not everyone's going to be there that you're going to love. but it does have a lot of problems. And the more I thought about it, the more problems I started to think about it actually having. I hate the rubber banding system. I hate it, which is the case of if you get too far away from your party, you get teleported. And when I say too far away, it's not even that far.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand if there were boundaries of where you can go when it loads up into a mission. It's like you can't go this far, or if it closes off areas you've been to.
Yeah.
But that's not really what it does. It bases it off of how far the person in the front is.
Yeah.
Which is, with a game that's kind of plagued with loading times, adding another loading time into the mix just isn't good.
Well, I mean, also it's the case of, I think it's everyone's single player worst fear, which is a case of you're going to have some idiot that you're playing with that is going to just sprint off in front, and you have no choice but to be teleported to their point, and then be teleported again and again and again. Like, you could not just you can't in free play. I'm talking about strictly in missions. We're talking about here. But it's a real letdown because it feels so dated, a rubber banding system, which clearly it needed to be there because they wouldn't have put it in there otherwise. But it just makes the game feel really
small.
Yeah, it makes it feel smaller than it actually is.
Yeah,
which is a real shame.
I agree. Yeah, that's probably one of the. In terms of moment-to-moment gameplay in the missions, it's probably the biggest, it's the most notable thing.
Which is annoying because it was fine when me, you, and Haley were playing, because we played on Xbox together. That was fine. I mean, every now and then one of us would go a little bit too far, but it wasn't too bad. But as soon as we played on PC with other people that were just sprinting through, it was like, well, this takes all the fun out of looking around for chests and experiencing this world sort of thing. You can't do it if you're playing with randoms, which is a shame. But
to be fair, they did say that almost everything in the game is available for you to do in solo.
Which, yeah.
If you run it on normal, I think the game would be easy enough for you to do everything in solo.
Yeah.
But some people do like playing those games in a co-op environment. They do like playing with other people, even if it's people they don't know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I also... The more and more I thought about it, and the more and more you brought it up, you're right. I don't like the fact that I don't know what I'm picking up loot-wise. I think you made a really good point about this, so go ahead.
So whenever you get a drop, it just pops up. You got a blue drop, a green drop, an uncommon, a rare, or whatever they call it. And I think that's fine, but I think if you're going to do it that way, we need to get more of the drops to get that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're getting something. Either that or just tell me what I'm getting. And I'd be fine even if I can't equip it right then and there.
Yeah.
But it's something I have to look forward to at the end of the mission. Oh man, I got this really... this stronger assault rifle. Can't wait to see what rolls I got on that. Can't wait to equip it, etc., etc. The way it's done now is just kind of boring. It's like, oh, I got these loot drops, and you get a little bit of a dopamine hit at the end of the mission when you see everything, but it's not really what it should be for a game like this.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same feel that any of the other two have, in my opinion, whether that be a Destiny or Division, which is a case of it drops, you know what you've got, you can go into your loadout and look at it, you can equip it then and there, unless you're in the Dark Zone in Division, but you can change your playstyle on the go. This game doesn't let you do that. It's a case of go out, get your loot, go out, experience your story, get your loot, come back, and let's see what you got. And then you go back into your hub world, get your story, go back out, change your loadout, But I think that would be okay if you could at least do it in free play, but you can't even change out your loadout in free play mode, which is
even
nuts.
In free play. They should have a spot at the Striders, which are the big things that look like they're out of Star Wars. If you could go there, and they had a little area where you could go, and it loads you into a forge, and you change it.
Yeah,
all good to go. That'd be fine. But then again, they can't do that because you don't technically even know what you're getting at by that point.
No.
Or if you could go somewhere and decipher what you have at a Strider or something like that. I don't know. This is hopefully stuff that they fix up relatively soon. I'm fine. I enjoy the game enough to overlook this, but it is definitely an issue that should be addressed.
That's literally what I was just about to say, which is a case of everything that I'm critiquing this game on it deserves to be critiqued, but it doesn't change the fact that the moment-to-moment gameplay is just that much fun that it still makes me want to go out and play it even more so. What else have I got problems with? I kind of feel like we haven't got to any of the end game stuff, but I've heard a lot of problems with the end game stuff. Being the like people grinding out loot obviously to get the best loadouts, and then they're getting like a epic drop, and it's got like 1% pistol damage, which as the buff, and they're like, what the hell is that? Like that's really bad. Like if you're really grinding out, that's when you work hard for something, you expect the drop to be at least, even if it's not even good for your playstyle, you still expect it to be good. 1% heavy pistol damage is not a good buff.
What they need to do is they need to add a reroll mechanic so that if you get something like that, you can pour materials or whatever to get a good roll, and do it like Diablo does it, where you can only reroll one of the stats.
Yeah.
Which would suck if you get two really not good stats.
But that's the game, right?
Yeah, that would be the game.
And then my biggest problem with the game, which is its loading screens. On PC, its loading screens are atrocious. I have a relatively decent PC, I would say. I've got a 1080 GTX. I've got a iCore 7 processor. I've got whatever else in it. I'm not a PC guy, but I know that it's good enough to run this game. I play everything on Ultra, and I can stream it on Ultra at the same time, so I know my computer's beefy enough, and its load times on PC are awful. Awful. Yeah,
I want to add a side note. You do stream, and then my computer also isn't up to par.
No.
My PC is above the minimum requirements. I will say that. So I would expect it to load in better, and when I do load in, I would expect the enemies to load in right away.
Yeah.
But that's just a side note, just for so people are
really
aware
oh no,
of that.
yeah. So I am streaming at the same time, which is obviously very CPU heavy, as well as which could be messing with my load times. Possibly, but like you said, I've had moments that I've got to the mission spot and I'm standing there going, "What the hell are we meant to do?" Oh, and then the enemies just pop in.
Yeah.
I'm like,
point to note: this didn't really happen on Xbox. I don't think I had enemies load in ever, and even if it was I got there and they loaded maybe half a second after I got there.
Yeah, on the Xbox, I didn't have any problems with load times. Were still a little bit long. I don't think it's still perfect in its load times, but it's not nowhere near as bad as I was experiencing on PC.
Yeah.
And
PC, like, I'd load in and people would be halfway through a mission.
Yeah,
like
literally.
I remember one time you finished a whole part of a mission by the time I loaded in. And I'm like, "You sure you're going the right way?" And you're like, "Man, I just finished the whole part."
It's not good. Not good. Yeah. But to round it up, I guess, from our 20 hours experience with it, which again we've done 10 of the same hours twice on PC and Xbox. What would, for someone who's not picked up the game yet, for someone who's considering picking it up, would you say to pick it up, or no, wait?
If you're on the fence, wait. If you really like looter shooters, I think there's enough in value in it from the gameplay perspective for it to be worth it for you. But if you're on the fence in any sort of way, don't get this game. Just wait. Wait for the best version of this game to come out.
Well, they have said that there's apparently a day one patch going to be coming out, which is obviously very important. It is a weird one, and the way they've done this, like, personally, I see a lot of people critiquing EA for this whole EA Access, EA Premium. I love it because it gives everyone a level playing field who wants to pay for it. And as someone who's a content creator, I'm able to get a preview out for you guys like we're doing right now. I'm able to tell you guys about it. I see a lot of people like, "Oh, it takes away the magic of the day one release," and the people making these complaints are also the same people that get review codes early. So I think you're like, I'm not calling anybody out, but you're a hypocrite because you're willing to take that review code early and be able to experience the game before everybody else. But now that everyone has that option, not to say that everyone's paying for it, and that's their prerogative, they don't have to. Now that option's there, you're like, "Oh, it takes away the magic of when a game releases on day one and everyone's together." It's like, but doesn't a early review copy do that as well?
Yeah, 100%.
So,
it's one of those things where it's probably they don't even realize what they're saying. It's just for them. It's like, this is the release date. Well, we're reviewing it. We're not technically playing it on release date.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of silly. I think the way they do it is fine. I think the trial thing, I saw people complaining about it for Anthem, and I'm like, the trial thing's been that way for EA for a while now.
Since
any game they release has a trial.
FIFA 15?
I remember Dragon Age Inquisition had it, which that came a while ago.
Yep. I think FIFA 15 was the first one I did it for, because obviously that was when I was mainly doing it. It was buy EA Access, which was for FIFA. It's like, 10 hours of FIFA? Yeah, I'm in. So it's been doing it for a while. Yeah.
People complaining about that is like, you guys should have been complaining about this. People complaining about the EA Premium. That's their new service. They want to pimp it out. And are all their games going to be a week early on EA Premium? Yep. Yeah. So that's fine. And I'm pretty sure like EA went to Microsoft, and Microsoft probably said no.
You think so?
Yeah, I'd assume so. Microsoft's getting good numbers with their Game Pass right now, so I assume Microsoft doesn't want that. Sony, I don't even know if they would have approached Sony if Sony doesn't allow EA access right now.
So yeah, I saw like other people, again, like I've been watching a ton of Kind of Funny. They spoke about it, a bunch of other podcasts that I listened to, and they spoke about it, and everyone's got like different opinions. I was under the impression that PlayStation said they didn't want EA access.
I don't think any like real statements came out. If I remember correctly, it was just something people assumed. The same with like the crossplay. People, if something doesn't have crossplay, people are just directly assuming Sony doesn't want crossplay, etc., etc. I might be wrong, and there might have been something someone said.
Yeah, I don't remember. Feel free to email in from thegamers@gmail.com. Let us know. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember there is like a rumor or something that apparently another console's getting EA access next year.
Is it one of those new consoles? Which is, is it the play? Maybe play. Oh yeah, I did remember that. We reported on it.
I'd assume it would be PlayStation if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Who knows? Maybe PlayStation's also like take the EA Premiere as well.
Yo, if they do, I'm moving over to PlayStation to play a lot of my games, a lot of my EA games. Because
there's no point paying. I'd rather pay the 100 is.
I think it's it's £90 a year for us, $100 for you guys over in the US. I'd rather pay that.
100%, and it's like I get those games, and then I get I got Darksiders.
Yeah,
I would much rather play Darksiders on a console than I would on PC.
Yeah,
no shots to my PC.
No,
but yeah. So it's like it's one of those things. A lot of people are complaining about it from a very like vertical slice without looking at the big picture of what's being here. It's like
I feel bad for PlayStation gamers. I'm not gonna lie. I do think it's kind of shitty that Xbox gamers can play 10 hours, PC can play 10 hours or the full game, and PlayStation are just sat there like, okay, I guess we'll wait till Friday. But that's clearly there's something gone on there. There's a decision behind it, so we just have to wait and see with it. Let's get into the big topic of the show this week, the big one. This one come out of nowhere, Crash. Scalebound rescued as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Rumor. Huge rumor. And I got this from a Nintendo website. That this is where the articles come from. Sorry, I haven't got the link, so I can't say where. But the article goes a little something like this, which is, I have confidence in my source to report that it is to my understanding that Scalebound has been rescued as a project to be released as as a project to be released as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Given Microsoft's previous involvement, it remains unclear to me whether development has been completely rebooted from scratch or at the least its ambitions scaled back, seeing as it's now destined for a more nimble but less powerful portable home console. Further to this, I believe that Scalebound is likely to be the game, quote, game that's to be dead that Nintendo's reviving, end quote, that Game Informer senior editor Imran Khan hinted on Kind of Funny Games Daily last week. Crash. Could this really be true?
Yeah. I think so. Nintendo has a relatively good standing with Platinum Games just because of Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see Nintendo coming in and offering like, hey, you guys got that Scalebound game. If you guys can rework it for our console, will cover whatever the production cost is, because Nintendo still needs more exclusives. Even though they've been relatively better with it as of lately, they still need more stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be absolutely shocked if this happens. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. To be fair, I sort of believed it for a second, and then Jason Schreier made a really good point, which I've got what he wrote on. I think it was Reset Error, so I'll read this real quick. This is from Jason Schreier, which is, this Nintendo Insider site doesn't seem to understand the difference between IP ownership and trademark registration. Anyway, didn't Platinum literally just announce an action game with co-op multiplayer as a Switch exclusive? I guess it's possible Nintendo is also paying for Scalebound, but why would they bother? My guess my guess, and please be clear, it's a guess, I am not confirming or denying anything, is that Platinum reused a lot of Scalebound's design and tech for, how do you pronounce this? Is their new Platinum game? It's Astral Chain, and people are just getting their wires crossed. I'll add to this that, quote, Scalebound is coming to Switch, end quote, was absolutely a rumour floating around last summer.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't see that comment.
So I was more for... So I was like, oh, this makes sense. Platinum have a great relationship with Nintendo. Nintendo need more exclusives, etc., etc. And then I saw this Jason Schreier comment, and I was like, that makes way more sense. That maybe Scalebound's dead, obviously. Platinum still have the assets that they've worked on already. They reuse those assets in a new game they just released for Switch, just announced for Switch during the Nintendo Direct, which we'll get into a little bit. That makes way more sense than bringing back Scalebound that no one really cared for anyway, right?
Yeah, but nobody cared about it till it was canceled. I remember when that game was shown, and everybody was like harking. What is this game? Why does he have those stupid headphones? Yep. I loved it. I was like, I'm all for this. It looks anime as all hell. I'm down for it. I want this game. Dragons, yada yada yada. And then it gets canceled. Oh no! I'm like, you're fake ass. You know. But yeah. This changes stuff. Do you think possibly like Nintendo is waiting to see how Astral Chains does? And depending on where it does, it might fund Scalebound.
No, I think Jason's hit the nail on the head with it. I truly think that they had the assets. They could reuse a ton of the assets, which would then drive down production cost and production time, because it's already been paid for, because it's already done.
Right.
I'm sure they're going to have to tweak it in a huge way, but there's a difference. Again, I don't know about making games. I don't make games. I don't know. That's not my forte. But I've got to imagine if you've already designed a hill, and you just need to sculpture the skin of that hill is way easier than just designing a whole new hill. Just putting it out there. I assume. Don't know if that's true. I'm putting this stuff out my butt sometimes. So it makes way more sense that they've got these assets, that you reuse it for a Switch exclusive, than Scalebound being brought back from the dead. And plus then I think you've got the whole, I don't know who owns the license. I know Microsoft trademarked it and then abandoned the trademark a while ago, which I reported on my Xbox and Me. So it's been up in the air for a while. I heard about Scalebound actually coming to Switch a while ago as well, from people that I know in the industry, which again I was told off the record I wasn't allowed to say anything. But again, I didn't believe it then, and I don't really believe it now. So
it could be that Nintendo acquired like whatever they had done on Scalebound. Was like, if you guys can rework this into something else, something that fits our console more, because the size and scope of Scalebound would not have fit on the Switch.
No,
I don't think it would have been an enjoyable experience.
I mean, just look at what we saw at the Nintendo Direct, which is what we're going to go into now, which is I didn't even put it on the docket, but like the games like Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered looked terrible on Switch. Dead by Daylight looked terrible on Switch. Dead
by Daylight looked like a PS2 game.
It looked awful. It looked
really bad. And Assassin's Creed was, if you want to play a better version of Assassin's Creed and you still have your PS3, go buy that for $15.
Less than that, hopefully. But yeah, it's like it looked bad. It reminds me of, why did someone not go, this doesn't look good, why are we doing this? It must just come down to money, right? Where they're like, well, we know it's going to still sell some numbers.
Because I'd imagine porting that wouldn't be super difficult. Again, I don't know how porting works too much, so can't speak on that. But they're probably like, we'll recoup our cost at minimum. Or this could be a deal Ubisoft has with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like port these games. We want this amount of games. They can be ports or whatever, and we just want more games on our console.
Yeah. Well, they probably see the numbers of them selling well with Rabbids and anything else they've already got on the system. We're like, well, we haven't got an Assassin's Creed game. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't believe there's an Assassin's Creed game currently on Switch.
I don't think so.
Especially not a numbered one anyway. So what we'll do is we'll put the remaster out on here, and we'll see how that does, and then we'll take this relationship further once we see how it does. Which I guarantee it still sells well enough to recoup the porting costs at least.
Yeah, probably. This would be interesting if this is them testing like if they should make an Assassin's Creed game on the Switch,
Exclusive.
Be it a main title or a side title.
It would never be a main title, I'd assume.
I don't think so, no, but who knows?
I just don't think that we've learned. I don't know if the Switch doesn't have enough power, it seems, to make anything relatively look pretty.
Yeah, it's also the Switch is a lot of people's side console, so I don't think you should make most main titles on the Switch unless it has a art style that scales down really well and looks good on the Switch.
Exactly.
Like I was talking about Darksiders 3 earlier. Darksiders 3 has a very cartoony art style. If you scale that down, I imagine it would look fine on the Switch. That's a game that goes to the Switch, and I think it would look fine.
And probably sell well as well.
Yeah, so interesting.
But yeah, into the rest of the news. Nintendo Direct happened. We watched it live, Chris. What did you think overall?
I thought it was solid. I wasn't disappointed by it. I wasn't excited. I think a lot of people like overvalue what a Nintendo Direct is. Always. The same way they do with Xbox inside Xbox. Yeah. And it's like these are just like news shows for the most part. You won't get too many announcements. Every once in a while you get an announcement. It won't be the biggest announcements because those are usually saved for E3 and what have you.
Yeah.
Maybe if this was a Sony show with Sony not having E3, maybe you expect to see something bigger. But even then, people expect too much out of this.
I mean, they expect too much, and they still got a lot. Like the notable ones of which 100%. I pulled out here which is Super Mario Maker 2 is coming to Switch in June 2019, which is huge. We didn't know this was happening. I would assumed it was going to be Super Mario Maker Deluxe or something like that.
Yeah.
But they've done the same thing with Splatoon, it seems like, which is it's going to be a... To me, they always seem like 1.5s more than 2s, in my opinion. But
I agree.
The Wii U sold so poorly and did so badly that it's like, I'll allow it.
They can put the 2. And most people haven't played it, so they'll like, oh, it's the sequel.
Well, I never played Mario Maker. I never played Mario Maker, so to me, it's like, perfect. I will, again, for some reason, never beat a Mario game, but I like playing Mario levels, and this just seems perfect for me. Not the hard levels, they will annoy the crap out of me. But the simple ones, what some kids made, I'm totally down to play those. So excited for that. I was actually quite hyped for this. I mean, more exclusives Nintendo can bring out, the better. And they definitely have some more. Which the next one, which is the one that everybody lost their shit about, and me and you were sort of like, oh, okay. Which is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, is getting remastered from Switch. This released back in 1993. Crash wasn't even born.
No.
I was one.
Yeah. I wasn't even in my mom's womb or anything. I was just non-existent.
You wasn't even produced, bro. Like, damn. Like, but this one was a huge one for people. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of bought into it a little bit after the Direct, where I was like, oh, maybe I'll get this. Like, no, you don't like Zelda. Why? Like, if you don't like Breath of the Wild, why? And I saw the side-by-side comparisons. I was like, oh, maybe. It looks so good. And I was like, no. You don't like Zelda. Like, I just don't like Zelda games for some reason. I can't get behind them. I can't play them. I don't finish them. Like, no. But then I keep looking at them every now and then. I'm like, but maybe.
I need a Switch game.
But maybe. But
that looks nice. Look at those graphics. You saw the old ones. You saw how it looked in '93. Shit was ugly. This is pretty cute. I like it,
dude. Like seriously, I was just like, wow. Okay, whatever. You gonna pick this up? Are you a Zelda? Do you like Zelda? Because we don't.
I like Zelda.
Yeah. Did you finish Breath of the Wild?
I like Zelda. Yeah, I finished Breath of the Wild.
Interesting.
I beat Ocarina of Time. I've played through most of Majora's Mask. I didn't beat it. I love Wind Waker. I might pick this up. I like Zelda enough. It depends what it comes out again, what it's competing with in that time.
Yeah, it's coming this year. Which when this year, who knows? But more power to the people that are freaking out about it. I'm happy for you guys. So yeah. Next up was Fire Emblem. Three Houses is slightly delayed till July 26th. Which again, I watch these directs and I'm like, wow, I'm so not a Nintendo guy. I watch it and I'm like, Super Mario Maker, yeah. Where's Mario Golf? Like that's with that. I'm that, and then I see like we saw Fire Emblem, we saw Dragon Quest, we saw Dragon Quest Builders 2. That was pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie. Might pick that up on Switch. But Fire Emblem, another one that's been delayed, but not too far away still. So, yeah. Have you ever been to Fire Emblem? Did you play those?
I've never played a Fire Emblem. I remember I had tried one on the DS. And I was like, I didn't really give it a fair shot, and I was just like, nope, not in the mood for this.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to get this. It's just I love the idea of this, and I love whenever like people are talking about it. But whenever I see the gameplay for this one in particular, I'm like, that gameplay just does nothing for me.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a case of if you play it, it's fun, but looking at it, it's not.
Yeah, it looked kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was watching, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. You're the headmaster of a school, and you pick your class, the houses the house you want to be part of, and the characters are building a relationship, and it sort of reminded me of Persona-esque. But again,
meets Harry Potter.
That was again. I was just about to say Harry Potter. If I got a game like this, if I got a turn-based Harry Potter game, bro,
it would be good, bro.
I'd buy the shit out of that, bro. I'd buy the shit out of that. Why have we not got that? Damn. Nah, I want that.
Who owns Harry Potter? Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Right? Do more with Warner Brothers.
I mean,
that game. If that game
doesn't come out, that RPG game. I'm gonna cry.
It looked good, man. I want it.
It looked good. It looked fucking dope.
It looked good until it comes out. Okay, I don't want to oversell it to myself.
No, it looked dope. That little clip we saw, which was all blurry, looked dope. And then last but not least, which we spoke about, which was Astral Chain. How do I say this?
Astral
Chain, a new game from Platinum, which will be out August 30th, which was it looked like it's a single player, but you play as two characters who are cops, and it looked like a Platinum game, if we're being honest with you.
I don't think you'll end up two.
They were two players moving around together.
Yeah, but I think one of them was you, and then one of them was the thing that was attached to you. I don't think they're both the two characters. I could be wrong about that, and I could have not been paying attention correctly, but that's what it seemed like to me. I haven't rewatched the trailer or anything, so
me either.
I could be wrong. I think it's a case of, do you want to be a boy or do you want to be a girl?
I definitely want to be a boy. Always a boy. You're always a girl.
I always pick female.
Always.
I play too many games with males.
Well, no, it makes perfect sense why you do it, but I always try and put myself, when I play video games, I always put myself as the character. Like, I don't try and make someone else and I roleplay as someone else. I always roleplay as MC Fixer, as Corey, as Fixer. Like, that's who I am. So, I can't be a girl because I'm not a girl. Not that I don't... Right. And then games like Tomb Raider or Horizon Zero Dawn or something like that, then I am those characters and I play as those characters. But something that lets me name the person and lets me create who they are, I'm playing as me. Like in Anthem, I'm me. Right. I am the freelancer. I'm not role-playing the freelancer. I am the freelancer. I'm making those decisions for me and what I would do. So, yeah. Next up, which is a really strange one, Apex Legends causes sales of a VR game called Apex Construction to take off. The huge success of Apex Legends has an interesting impact on a VR title, Apex Construction. Construct. Sorry. As the similar in names, which has caused players to visit Steam page and has increased by over 4,000% via PC Gamer. Andreas Juliusson of Apex Construct, developer Fast Travel Games, took to Reddit to discuss the situation in more details and how the launch of the free-to-play game Battle Royale Apex Legends, which isn't even on Steam, has affected Apex Construct, which is a Steam game that costs $29.99 on US dollars. In addition to the astronomical jump in visit to the pages, Juliusson mentioned that, quote, "We sold more units of Apex Construct in China in the last 7 days than during the whole of 2018.
What? That's crazy. I would have never thought this would ever occur. This would happen or anything.
How would people go in there and be like, "Oh yeah, we heard about this Apex game. This must be it."
Is Apex Legends available in China?
I don't know.
If it's not available in China, I could see people wanting to find it and they go on Steam. they type in Apex, and they get Apex contract, and like,
oh, this
close
must be
enough.
it. Boom, bye.
Yeah.
And it's a VR title? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is it in, I don't know where it is. Is it in China where they changed the name of the games in the cover art to sell games?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere where like they're really strict on the games they sell. So they'll change cover art and the names of games just so it gets past
Got ya.
yeah, so they can sell the game, and it might be that case if it is China. It's like, we're looking for the off name. You gotta find the off name. It can't be the name.
How many of these do you reckon get refunded?
A good bit of them.
Yeah.
A solid bit. I think a lot of people will just keep it because for how much it sold, I think they'd break at least the same amount as they sold last year. Will just keep it because they think it is Apex Legends.
Got ya.
Because the game that people are raving about, and they're like, have to like this. It's so popular. I do think quite a lot of people will refund it as well, though.
Yeah. Next up, the Colton dance cannot be copyrighted amidst Fortnite lawsuit. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star Alfonso Ribeiro lawsuit against Fortnite for the inclusion of the famous, quote, Carlton dance, end quote, in the Battle Royale game has hit a major snag as the US Copyright Office has called into question his attempts to copyright the dance. In a letter posted by The Hollywood Reporter, Seska Florence of the Copyright Office Art Division said Ribeiro's copyright request should be refused on the basis of the dance being a simple dance routine. The combination of these three dance steps is a simple routine that is not registerable on choreography work. The letter readers, after laying out the significant movements, Florence then follows up this description by refusing the registration claim. So it's looking like Fortnite is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Which is going to set precedent for everyone else going forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the way copywriting dances work is if it's not a full choreographical dance, you can't copyright it. This sucks for some of the cases where I think it was legit. I think most of these lawsuits only happened not because people felt their work was being stolen, because they saw money that they could possibly get.
Yeah. Well, I think the Backpack Kid's come out and said that, right? Like he's like, I don't even care. My mum's doing it. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you, kid, because you're getting all this hate because your mum's seeing dollar signs.
Yeah, it really sucks. And I'm sure that kid's already making money, so it's like...
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
The Carlton specifically bothered me a lot because the dance was in Destiny, and Mans did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is just kind of grimy. The Millie Rock is the only one that I think deserved to win a lawsuit, but probably won't win it because it's not a full choreographical dance. I don't think.
I think it's hard because we've been over this so many times before on this show and on my Xbox and me and on stream and whatever else, but it's hard because the Carlton dance is the Carlton dance. We know that's the Carlton dance, but he's already been paid to be an actor, and I get that he come up with that, but I don't think that means that you then own it. Like you only,
if anything, whoever owns the rights to the Fresh Prince Bel-Air would own it. It's the same way if you work at a company and you happen to make something while you're working at the company during your work time, the company owns it. You don't own it.
Yeah. I think people saw dollar signs, people saw money, people thought, oh, this is going to be easy cash, like, throw my lawyers at this one and they'll settle. And I feel like Epic Games are probably like, no, we're not giving you money.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to remember, Epic Games is the one that went through with the lawsuit against the kid who was cheating.
Yep.
They did not let him get through with it, even though it was a little kid. They didn't settle him with a warning. They were like, no, we're going to go through with this.
Good. Don't cheat.
And as much as I think it sucks for certain cases, I think for the most part, this is a positive.
Yep. And like I said, I think it sets precedent going forward now for other people and other dances being in games as well, where it's like, well, it didn't work with the biggest game out at the moment. It's not going to work with this small, whatever it is, indie game.
You can't bully smaller games who can't really afford the
lawsuit.
Lord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Next up, Apex Legends leaks reveal survival mode and new legends. Just like in the case with Fortnite, a community of modders has upsprung around Apex Legends to dig through its files looking for an unannounced content. Data mines going through Apex Legends files have found various references to a new game modes, a new character legends, and even some fresh cosmetic content. Of course, there are no guarantees any of this will make it into the live game, as some could just be renderments of scrapped content, but it can be fun to take a peek behind the curtain. At Real Apex Leaks found references to the very interesting new mode, simply referred to as Survival, in the game's files. The mode appears to feature spectator and commentator NPCs who will cheer players on and even perform a few emotes of their own. It's not clear yet how this particular mode is going to play out, or even if there's exciting features will end up making it into the final version. But there's something interesting you'll need to find out in other Battle Royale games. In relation to the same mode, Real Apex Leaks also found reference to a replay system. This appears to be a simple kill replay like you might see in Call of Duty or Titanfall, or even in Fortnite. You can go back and do that now. PUBG, loads of games have got it. Apex Legends does not offer a kill replay system of any kind, though you're free to spectate remaining players after dying. Does any of this get you excited?
No, from what I've heard of the survival mode, it just kind of sounds like the BR mode. I don't know what exactly the difference would be. Is it a horde mode? Probably not. It's probably still, I don't know. I don't see the difference between survival mode and BR.
Fair enough.
Other than the difference in names.
Yeah, I mean, it does nothing for me. I just thought Apex is the big thing right now, so we got to talk about it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Next up, Xbox gameplay chart week ending in February 17th, 2019 goes a little something like this. Apex Legends number 1, Fortnite number 2, Crackdown 3, which is why this story was added, number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2, number 5, FIFA 19, number 6, Forza Horizon 4, number 7, Rainbow Six Siege, number 8, GTA 5, number 9, and Destiny 2, number 10. Crackdown 3 doing well amongst Xbox players, which is obviously dope.
Yeah.
Before we go on to this, let's transition into the next story, which is the UK charts, which Far Cry New Dawn is number 1, but Metro Exodus is the real winner. Crackdown 3 managed to get number 13, and this is physical sales, which is really, really interesting. So I'll read that list out after this, but so it didn't crack the top 10 in the UK physical sales, but it did crack the top 3 Xbox gameplay charts, meaning that a lot of people played it via digital copy sold and Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which is what we would have expected from this game, I'd assume.
Yeah. I'd expect most people playing it would be mostly through Game Pass.
Yeah. Especially after its poor reviews.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see it so high, even with that being the case, though.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be this high, I'll be honest with you. A lot of Xbox fans are hardcore Crackdown fans, which is really interesting. And to see the pushback on on us, the reviewers, I guess I'm in there because I reviewed the game as well. People are just like saying I'm flat out wrong. That the game is good, it is fun, it has depth, it has this, and I'm like, are we playing the same game? Did we play the same game?
I think people get confused with fun and good. You can have fun in a bad game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Kingdom Hearts, if I'm speaking realistically, I'm going to this for a second. Kingdom Hearts 1 is not a good game. No. I had fun with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 2, I think I'd argue is a good game, but for a majority, Kingdom Hearts 2 has a lot of bad things about it. Or not Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts in general. And I still have a lot of fun with those games. Those games are corny, they are cringy. I love those games.
Yeah.
So I think as players, you kind of have to separate the two, especially when you're going to listen to a reviewer instead of attacking them because you don't agree with them, because most of the time a reviewer should be talking about a game from the perspective of, is the game good or bad? Objectively, not subjectively, not that they enjoy it. That's a little bit at the end where they're talking about, like, overall the game. It's like, it has these flaws, but I really love playing the game.
Yep.
But they never get to that part. They get about halfway and hear all the negatives, and they're like, I hate you for hating the game I love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's interesting. It's interesting, some of the tweets I've had and some of the messages I've had, just like, I'm flat out wrong. I'm flat out wrong about this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not competent. I've never played a game in my life. I have this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, did you play the game? Like, you've not even played the game and you're attacking me yet. Like, the game's not even out. You haven't even got it yet and you're attacking me. Alright, cool. Whatever. But yeah. Like I said, back to the UK sales charts though. It goes a little something like this, which is number 1, Far Cry New Dawn. Number 2, Metro Exodus, which is humongous. Red Dead Redemption 2 at number 3. Jump Force at number 4. FIFA 19 at number 5. Resident Evil 2 at number 6. Yes, still selling well. Like I got any money in this, I don't. New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe number 7. Kingdom Hearts 3 number 8. Mario Kart 8 number 9, and Call of Duty Black Ops number 4. The important thing here, I would say, which is while people are saying Metro is the real winner, which is the launch physical sales for Metro Exodus in the UK at least, are almost 50% higher than Last Light, which is 57% of Metro's Exodus sales came through PS4 as well. Which means this did humongous for them.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that. I'm really glad to see that. I'm excited to play the game. I still haven't played it.
Yeah. I've got it, still haven't got my hands on it yet. I just haven't had time. Just been playing too many other things.
Yeah. It's great. I'm actually like really happy to see that. I feel like they do deserve it because I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about the Metro games.
I've only heard positive things ever. And I'm just like, it's not for me. I haven't got time. And I'm like, I should really give the other two a try. At some point. I'm going to play Exodus first because it's the new one and I want to be able to talk about it for Game of the Year at the end of the year. Dude, we're almost 3 months in. We have to do a Game of the Year talk soon already. Yeah. Like, the first quarter will be done soon, which is crazy. But yeah, super happy for Metro Exodus. And congratulations to A4 Games and obviously Deep Silver and Koch Media as well. So, yes. Last but not least, Crash, the PS Vita production is ending soon. PlayStation Vita has been on life support for a couple of years. I got this from Eurogame, I believe. But it seems finally Sony is ready to lay its... sorry, let me try this again. But it seems Sony finally ready to lay its pocket powerhouse to rest, with production in Japan coming to an end. The format holder website lists the PCH2000 ZA11 and the PCH2000 ZA23 models are ending production soon. Did you ever have a Vita?
My brother did, and then he gave it to me when he realized there was nothing to play on it.
I bought a Vita twice. Bought one, sold it. Bought one, sold it. Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah.
Why twice? What made you get it the second time?
You know what happens. You become a Greg Miller fan, and he talks about a Vita so much that you're like, oh man, maybe this system is good. So you buy it again, and you're like, man, this system does nothing for me. Like, and at the time I didn't have a PlayStation either. I really bought it for remote play, and then didn't end up using it for remote play. And it just sat there for like, I had the OLED one twice, and it just sat there every time. And I was like, why have I got you? You're literally just picking up dust. And I was getting it just for the PlayStation Plus games. Then I stopped paying for PSN Plus, and I was like, this is just pointless.
Not even worth it.
This is just pointless at this point.
I will say that the Switch is the successful version of the Vita with the remote play. Like if the Vita came out the way that people wanted it to, which is I can play my PS4 games, or I think it was PS3 games as well.
It was PS3 at the start, and then it transitioned to PS4. Yeah.
If I could play that while I'm sitting down in the bathroom, whatever, wherever, I would use it. That's what they tried doing, but it just didn't work out that way, sadly. I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised it was still in production.
Japan.
I kind of thought
Japan.
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah.
I thought it went out.
These are newer versions as well. Like, they brought out in Japan they brought out different coloured ones and like different cheaper models and stuff like that. So
yeah. Mobile handheld stuff tends to do better in Japan, so I guess it makes some sense.
Yes, I think the Switch is sort of taken over that mindshare now, though, right? I'm not in Japan, I don't know, but I just imagine that a lot of people are like, the Switch is a better system. It's but it's just an overall better system, and it's a home console as well as like, why would we even bother with the Vita when Sony gave up on it pretty early on as well? So. Sucks. Deals of the week this week, you got February's game with golds, obviously Bloodstained Curse of the Moon from February 1st to February 28th, Super Bomberman from February 16th to March 15th, and you've got WRC World Rally Championship from January 16th to February 15th. That's already gone, so you can't get that. I apologise. And last but not least, on the 360, you have got Star Wars Jedi Academy from February 16th to February 28th. On PlayStation Plus, for February, you've got For Honor, Hitman Season Season 1, Gunhouse and Rogue Aces, Dive Kick on the PS3, and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of Patriots. I didn't realise when I added this is the last time you're getting PS3 games. Metal Gear Solid 4 was the last PS3 game they're doing in PS Plus. So
good game to go out on.
Very
Great
good.
game.
I've not played it.
I would really recommend it.
I've got it.
First Metal Gear Solid game I played.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, you suck.
It was a little confusing, I'm gonna be honest, but I loved playing it.
Yeah, no, I didn't own a PS3 until Last of Us came out. So I just missed it. I was a huge Metal Gear Solid fan from the first 1 to 3, and just never got to 4. Never got to 4, and then
you missed out.
I mean, it's one of those games. It's probably up there with Resident Evil for me. Like, I don't know it nowhere near as deep as I know Res, but like, it's one of the games I own them physical. I've got a couple of the soundtracks. Maybe I should do a whole let's play or stream of the games. It'd be interesting.
I'd recommend.
I've got all the walkthroughs, like I do for Resident Evil as well.
Oh, so you're really into it. It wasn't like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, I love one. One is the Metal Gear Solid is fantastic on the PS1. Even today, it's just the things that game done that you just... Oh, yeah. I could never imagine beating that game without a walkthrough, though.
I mean, yeah.
It was, there's a point in that game where you have to go back on yourself and go through different points, and you don't even... It doesn't really explain itself that well. You're like, oh, wow, if I didn't have this walkthrough, I wouldn't even know. So,
yeah. Just a shout out to those games, because I haven't played a lot of them, but a lot of the stuff Hideo Kojima did with those games about... hints being on the box art of what you have to do, unplugging controllers, putting them into player 2 socket, just all that stuff is super brilliant. It makes me wish I had played those games growing up. Yeah. Because I would have had those memories, and I feel like those would have been really cool memories to have.
Yeah, the only memories I've got is making Aaron and Daniel watch me play Metal Gear for biscuits. That's it.
Biscuits. Oh, man.
It's the truth. It's the truth. And on PS3, you've got Gunhouse, Rogue Aces, and Dive Kick also. On the Epic Game Store, Axiom Verge is still free for a couple more days, so make sure you go get it from February 7th to February 21st. So you've got a little while. They haven't announced what the next game is they're giving away for free, which is actually free, which is dope. So we shall see. Let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. Kresh, what have you got to plug this week?
If you guys want to keep up with everything me, on Twitter at KreshnikPlays, Twitch, I'm playing games. This Friday, Anthem. I'm sure me and Fix will be playing a ton of that. If you guys want to squad up with us.
Sure, you missed someone out in that conversation, didn't you? I might not even get to play. Haley will be there waiting, bro.
Really?
Dude, she is so ready. Like, she's like, oh, what are we doing? Are we going to play at midnight or are we going to play in the morning? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? She's like, I think we should play in the morning, then we can just play all day. And I was just like, dude, like, chill out. Like, she's like on it. Like, I've never seen her this way for a video game before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
So... Should be interesting. But yeah, make sure you go follow Kresh everywhere. Remember, you get the show early on Patreon. Patreon is where you keep the lights on. This is what keeps us going. Again, want to apologise for anyone that watched the stream yesterday. I had a bit of a moment on the stream where I was just a bit like, I want to give up and I want to quit and this sucks and that sucks. But I remember why I do this, so thank you all for the support. I appreciate it. I'll be back again. This show will be back again next Wednesday. Keep loving it. Keep enjoying it. Until next time, love you, leave you. See you later. Goodbye.
Boy.